Thank you for staying with us. So we're still talking about why single people are drawn to the married, and we've gotten to the point where we're saying in marriage, or where if we're able to determine how much we would lose if we behaved badly, maybe we would not behave badly. Linda, I would like to hear what
Right. You know, we ended with the word fire for fire,
Yes.
right? Which I'm a fire sign, so I love. But now the result of fire comes to ashes, right? So I think that's almost my conclusion. You would only have ashes, and once ashes are there, you can never build it back, right? There's nothing left for it. So if you know that you have sacrificed a lot in your life and you've invested, and in a day everything can turn to ashes, is it really worth it? I think peace always is the solution to everything, and if you've seen the result of what peace gives to you, you would always want to take peace. And peace just means walking away and living.
Nothing is guaranteed.
Yeah, she just said something.
But nothing
okay,
is
so
guaranteed.
so peace. What I hear her say is sometimes walking away
Gives you peace.
even though it may look like weakness, but it gives you peace, and that peace is, worth more than any fire for fire. Because in the end, everybody loses ashes. That's what it
Ashes,
means.
and
People
there's
still fight
nothing.
and have peace too.
No, like
so-
you
but
even
in most
said.
cases-
Sleep well at night.
Most cases, when we say peace, in most cases, we're using that term to tell the woman to pipe low.
Yes.
Whenever
It may
we
not
say
be.
peace, the cultural expectation that follows
You
keep
calm
the
down.
peace is the woman should manage the home. If he breaks, it is on your head. So manage. Even when the way she's saying the peace is that if the man brings fire, the woman should keep the peace. Don't give it fire back.
If the man brings fire, bring water.
Yes.
You douse the fire.
Because
So-
at the end of the
may not be
day,
able to.
you may be homeless. And
Homeless
it's not
care.
worth it. Yes.
Homeless care.
If your house burns, because not all women have choices, right?
Yes.
So we
I
also
agree.
have to understand that. And
The ones that
you
don't
know,
have
if you know you're going to leave and you don't have a home, where else would you go to?
And
But it's
don't
not
go
the
to
choice
change
of
this
saying
for women.
we do
Honestly,
understand. We do
Can we hear Linda,
body.
please?
we do understand, but we have to be honest with ourselves, right? And unfortunately, it's the world we are living in.
I love that you brought us here, because I was going to get here eventually. And this is when a woman, especially a woman, in today's world, even in today's world, with all the empowerment and all the agency that we have now, when you decide to leave, it's not just an emotional decision. It's a strategic decision. It must be a strategic decision. So when you have gotten to a place where you think, I am done, it's not enough for a woman to just step out or step away. She has to now think of all the other ways that she must now be independent fully, emotionally, financially, however, she's able to take care of herself, so she doesn't go back to a place that denied her peace. I learned this when I had heard this conversation, Oprah and her friend Gayle King, and they were just talking about divorce and how women would go, how they should behave. And I heard Oprah, who I thought, the richest woman in the world, whatever, I thought she would go, just walk out. But she said, for women, you have to think about it. If it means giving yourself like a 2-year plan while in that situation, so that by the time you leave, you have something that you can rely on. So, so strategy is important. So that fire for fire may not necessarily be in a war. If a small country is fighting with a big country, it may not do fire for fire. Where the big country is throwing big, bombs and things like that, the small country throws in foot soldiers quietly, dealing with your army in smaller ways, but just as destructive or even more destructive.
It is going on.
Yes, exactly. But
you're
what
planning.
we're saying is that you're planning,
Of protecting
you're
your
strategic.
children.
Nobody should be a
But
fool.
marriage is not meant to be a battle.
I don't understand.
I feel honestly, it shouldn't be a battle. If there is any man or woman struggling with ability to be faithful in their marriage, you should seek therapy, because some men actually struggle with it. They have addictions. They didn't build the muscle of discipline when they were growing up. It takes a whole lot to build the muscle of discipline. If from the first sexual interaction a person has, let me not say man or woman, you went from that into every woman that goes, every man that goes, like you're interacting with everybody freely, and you don't see that ability to stay with one, and you never did it. Suddenly you now get married and you think you will suddenly able to do it. It'll be difficult. let's have that conversation. You should get help to help you build the discipline, the muscle of discipline to be faithful with one person. If you've never done it, you might never be able to do it. And there are women who've never done it. At every point in time, right from being single, they've had 2 or 3 relationships. And they were having intimate relationship with all 3 of them. So suddenly you get married. And then you think that you just now face this one man. It's not going to work. It's not magic. So going through talk to counselors. There are marriage counselors, pre-marital counselors, post-marital counselors to help you through that journey. Let's not normalize what is wrong, even though the society has normalized it. We can still walk it back, because if the goal of a marriage is to raise godly children, it means that the marriage needs to be in solid form, not where we are planning fire for fire, mutually destruction, assured destruction.
I hear you, but I would like to circle. I'll try to circle this. I would like to circle this back to why single people seem to want married people. That is the conversation, you know. So and one of the why we have come this far is that we've said that there are many things that happen in marriages that justifying women acting a certain way. But what's justifying single men acting this way, where they are going for married women? I'm not talking of just elderly women, because elderly women can be single. I'm talking of married women. But we have Sylvester on the line. Good morning, Sylvester.
Yeah, good morning. I have listened extensively to your discussions and find that this is a societal problem. And when you're talking about a societal problem, many reasons come up for women doing what they're doing, dating single men running after married men, and vice versa. But when as I listened to you brought up different reasons why these things happen. And what I ask is, with the society changing and evolving, and human values, virtues now, which is on the positive side, are they now supposed to be compromised because the society has become liberal? Are they supposed, this marriage thing we're talking about, is it instituted by man, or are we just free beings that appear and started marrying? Down history lane, all societies that have allowed immorality, because this is what this is, we must call a spade a spade. All societies that have allowed immorality to creep into them and eat up such societies failed. So with married men finding it easy, maybe in order to put their women in a place, or for us talking about the society of the past when women were caged, the men that caged those women those days, are they the men today? The women that are now finding liberality today, are they doing it to the men who are forebears, who are not lived again? So there is a complete decay of values and morality. And what has caused that is that we have removed God from the equation. And as long as we talk about all these things and see all the reasons and then do not take a stand and say this is wrong, and you people who are talking about this, you have to also have a stand. What's your stand as you're discussing this? Is it right? Is it wrong? If it is not right, then it is wrong. And if it is wrong, it is bad. So you take a stand. You are talking to the society at large. You're talking to the world as you speak. Take a stand there. Tell us whether this is good or it is bad. And then profess solutions to have this in humanity. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvester, for your contribution. So I hear Sylvester. He wants us to be able to also educate, our viewers. And the truth is, this table, we do all that. We share our opinions from our different backgrounds. We prefer our own solutions based on our own personal experiences. Some will agree with some things we say, and some people will disagree. In the end, I think it's a form of education for everybody involved, those speaking and those listening. So, okay, I was going to say, just before we got this call, I was saying that if we were to circle it back to single people just wanting to be with married people, highlighting young men especially, finding married people attractive, or not even young men. There's some people who are much older, as you know, that there are people who are not married people are not even getting married as early as they used to, and they are finding married women attractive. What is it in this world that has changed? Is it becoming acceptable? Because when I've seen situations, I've seen situations where a young girl will tell you that there's this rich man that likes her. Everybody knows that he's married, but he's well known in the society, has a lot of money, and he likes her. And I see aunties and mommies pushing for that relationship.
Go, sharp.
Would you do the same if your son were to come to you, or your brother or your nephew says, there's this rich madam? Let me know, especially when we're talking about balance now in this kind of conversation.
Can I quickly go?
Yes.
So I think what's happening now is life is becoming more difficult than it used to be in the days of our fathers.
Well said.
Men were easily able to marry with little or nothing and then grow and build from there. But now it's increasingly difficult for men of a certain age to even afford to take care of themselves properly, not to talk of getting a wife and then children that are coming in. Many people cannot afford to, young men who are working, cannot even afford to rent houses. If you come to places like Lekki, they're like 7, 8 squatting, and they are working, they are graduates. It's not like they are not working. They are graduates, they are putting in the effort, some are working in the banks and all of that. Because of the inflation and all the economic stress, they are not even able to stand to have a relationship, not to talk of getting married. So the easy way out is now to find an elderly person.
Sorry, you have to hold your thoughts.
Okay.
We need to go quickly on this break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. My God, we've gone. Time has run away from us. But just before we leave, we'll just have like a short closing remarks on the conversation we've had, and then we'll talk about Linda.
So for me, I would say that marriage is beautiful, and we should keep the bed holy.
Okay.
So as much as possible, preserve it, get coaching, get therapy, get counseling if you are unable to control yourself.
Yeah.
I agree with Topek. Please get counsel. And before you get into marriage, know that it's for you and your partner. Stop looking outside, please.
What is wrong, and what is right is right. I think everybody should just preserve themselves. That's just the basic.
Linda, what do you have to say?
Well, I would say that, well, for me, it's more good examples of marriage needs to be seen now, especially in this digital world that we, the younger ones, live in, so that we're not scared.
Good marriages will tell you that they're hiding from evil eye. That's why you don't see them out there. But, you know, Linda, before we go, finally, we would just like to know what you've been up to, you know, recently, or what it is that you're working on.
Well, thank you, ladies. It's been so much. And what I've been up to also ties in with this topic. Yes, it's a movie called Idia, and it's a married couple who had issues with receiving a child, you know, conceiving. And they got to the stage where they did. Situations happened, the child was lost. Now, here was the drama. The wife needed the husband to sleep with someone else so that that person can carry a child. So it also goes into this topic of, you understand, faithful. So can you choose the choice of your husband being unfaithful by you saying you can be unfaithful today because
today,
I chose
you know,
this, right? So it's, you know, so the topic was really, really sweet. Absolutely. But we have this film coming out in cinemas. It's coming out October 24th, which is tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes. And we premiered it October 19. I played a character called Rose. It's a very powerful movie. It's a horror genre, which is so unique from the Nigerian Nollywood film. We don't have that. And as you see, Nollywood has diverse in dimensions that we could not have thought of, right? We have got, we've got into action, and when I say not your Juju Calabar, this is beautiful, it's cinematic, and it's given that beautiful quality that will make you want to watch it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love to watch you. Anytime I see you on screen, I'm like, okay, this is definitely going to be a good one.
Yes,
you know how to interpret your roles. Well done.
Well done. We're huge fans here. Ladies, thank you so much for a fantastic conversation. We've completely run out of time. And to our viewers, thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and learned something like we have. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye-bye.